Hello, my name is Jay Carpenter, founder of PHONEWORD Workshops and a member of PHONEWORD Workshops LLC. And this is our session for Thursday, October the 15th, 2020. It is 9 a.m. Pacific time, 9 a.m. Arizona time. And we have these sessions every Thursday at 9 a.m. where we're doing small segments, 30 minutes or less, talking about different elements of the PHONEWORD Workshops global directory initiative that we're creating, which is a way to create basically a global directory for Web 3.0. So today what we're going to be talking about is something called NodeRED, and we'll be going through a little brief introductory presentation of NodeRED, how it works, how it fits into the PHONEWORD Workshops global directory construct, and why it might be of interest to you, whether you're interested in the global directory that we're creating or working with the Internet of Things, or just in general, a really interesting and powerful way to create projects and constructs that could be valuable to you. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to start screen sharing, and bear with me just a moment. So this is the presentation, and you'll be able to get a copy of this or a link to this presentation in the description of this video recording below. And we'll start with what is NodeRED, and you can find the website at nodered.org. And how does NodeRED fit into the PHONEWORD Workshops global directory ecosystem? What are the benefits? How does this work with something called Canaries? And then if some others join us, we'll talk about feedback and suggestions. So in our past workshops, here are some of the things that we've covered. So we basically got our team together for the HackFS event that happened from July the 6th through August the 6th. And that, bear with me just a moment. And that basically sparked our group to start to build a prototype of the global directory. And then we had an introduction to the global directory on August the 13th. We've talked about Raspberry Pis, how do you claim a global directory listing, the overall global directory construct, public keys, how does that fit into it? We had an open session. We talked about peer-to-peer messaging, which we're currently running using elements of the global directory. We talked about hashing, IPFS, and decentralized networks. And today we're talking about this piece called NodeRED. So here's the home page for NodeRED, and this is something that started as a little project from one of the developers that was associated with IBM International Business Machines. And this happened sometime back in, I think, 2010. And so this has been around for about 10 years. And what started as a little project for him to help simplify managing Internet of Things devices grew into this open source project that's now run by the Node.js Foundation. I think it might be called OpenJS Foundation, and has grown into a sizable open source project that's being used by some of the largest companies in the world. Hitachi is one of them, and others, in order to start to bring a bunch of disparate pieces together in the web and create easy to prototype, easy to use, easy to implement projects, not only of IoT, but also of a web nature. So you can watch this video, which gives you a little sneak peek into how the NodeRED is structured, which is a drag and drop platform where you drag different nodes onto a palette and you start to construct how you want your project to flow, what you want it to do, and it becomes this very powerful, very easy way to start to connect a whole bunch of different things together. And that's how we're using it in the global directory. NodeRED, at least initially, is being used as sort of the glue that binds all these different pieces together. So let's jump into a demonstration, and I am going to flip to a different screen here. So this is actually a connection from my laptop computer to a Raspberry Pi that has NodeRED on it. And we will start NodeRED with this command, NodeRED start, and you'll see the NodeRED server fire up, which it's doing right now, the different versions, and it loads some modules, a SQL database, and so forth. But in addition to this, we can also go to the palette where we can start to build things and see how things are built. And now we're opening up the palette at this local IP address. And let's go down to, these are all sorts of different sub-palettes. You can see I've created some various flows and functionality. This one's querying a database. And here we, in this one, we're doing a lookup listing using a MongoDB database. This one creates a listing. I'll show you a little bit of this in a moment. We've got a video display. I'll go to this JS test, and I will shrink this down just a little bit to show you some functionality here. Over here, we have what's called the debug window. And as we deploy certain things, then certain things can be displayed over in the debug window. And you can see that we've got basically a parsing of this 1-800 phone word. And then we go over here, we hit another one, and voila, we've got 1-800 parsed here, and then just the phone word parsed over here. And this starts to give you a little bit of idea as to how this works. But let's take a look at another very powerful aspect, which is called the dashboard. And the dashboard allows us to start to do certain things using more of a user-friendly web interface. And we are using a MongoDB instance for this. I'm not going to go into that right now, but and we will have some future presentations on NodeRED, and we'll get into a little more of the nuts and bolts of this. But suffice it to say that we can do a bunch of things, and maybe we should go ahead and fire up a MongoDB instance. And let me open up another terminal. And open this up full. So if we go to put in this command, MongoDB, and then we put in sudo start MongoDB. Now we're ready to fire up Mongo. Whoops. And you can see now we got an instance of MongoDB fired up, and we're going to use PHONEWORD as our instance. And if we go to count, you can see that we've got one record in this MongoDB instance or collection, and here is the actual record. And now if we go to back to our okay, if we now go to this and we put in, let's say J Carpenter, and we hit submit, voila, you can see that that record that we had in this, so this record is in MongoDB is now being displayed on this particular user interface dashboard of NodeRED. And that is reflected in this lookup listing flow. So this is a lot of information. I'm not going to go into the details, but suffice it to say that you can build these flows, and this starts to bring together a bunch of different pieces that would otherwise be very difficult to tie together. So I'm going to stop it at that, screen sharing, and take a look. I don't see any others that have tried to join. Let's go back to screen sharing and go back to the presentation. So what we've covered, we've looked at NodeRED, we looked at how the dashboard works a little bit, and we've looked at the database. And I know that's a lot to throw into an introductory session. Don't worry about trying to figure it all out. Just suffice it to say that NodeRED is a piece that can bring a bunch of our different elements of what we're working with in the global directory together. And it can also be peer-to-peer. Here's kind of a sketch of the global directory where we're taking human-friendly phrases like 1111 PHONEWORD Workshops, and we're pairing that with machine-friendly addresses like this long address that starts with QMU. So we've covered this in other sessions, so I'm not going to go over it much. In the PHONEWORD Workshops resources, you can find various videos on how public keys work on websites and books. And you can also learn about the Canary, which is a mesh network of hardware devices that we are running the global directory on, both as a prototype as well as a scale up to production. You can find us at 1111 PHONEWORD Workshops, assuming that you're connected to the libp2p pub/sub channel, and we've done video sessions on that, how that works. You can look back in the at the PHONEWORDWorkshops.com YouTube channel, and we also will be highlighting listings of various directory listings and claims that, and how the market works on that. We've talked about that a little bit in the past as well. Who's eligible right now are participants in HackFS.com as well as Desert Blockchain Citizens. So if you become a Desert Blockchain Citizen, you will have the ability to create 2 directory listings in the global directory, and one of your picking, which can spell a particular phrase that's of interest to you, and then one that's either associated with your the phone number that you're currently using or is randomly assigned to you. So we will be highlighting the marketplace for the listings, and we always have this notice that this is an experimental project. All listings are subject to change or removal at any time, and you use this at your own risk without warranty of service or quality. And this project is for educational purposes only. There's no emergency services associated with this, like most internet and IP related services. And we're also offering a money-back guarantee if you purchase some of the hardware, such as Canary, through Desert Blockchain, which is a separate entity than PHONEWORD Workshops LLC. But if you purchase hardware through Desert Blockchain and you're not satisfied for any reason, you've got a 60-day money-back guarantee. Excuse me. So here's the contact information and how to connect to a PubSub channel. And that is basically our workshop for today. So thank you for your time and attention. We will be having another workshop next Thursday at 9 a.m. And please tune in and learn more about this opportunity to participate in the directory that is designed for the decentralized web, Web 3.0. Again, my name is Jay Carpenter, and feel free to reach out and contact me. Goodbye.